Wabarakatuh. This is me again, Dr. Ibrahim Shinnawi, welcoming you to our course Modern Drama, and we have just finished the introductory lecture, and now we need to start our first lecture. Our first lecture, this is the slide of the first lecture. Now, definitely, if we are studying modern drama, so this means that we need to have an idea or to have an introduction about modern drama. Now, to know something and the change between modern drama and what came before it, definitely we need to know that after the death of Shakespeare, after Shakespeare died, and his contemporary drama in England suffered a decline for 2 centuries. So drama was not successful after the death of Shakespeare. Why? Because Shakespeare took drama to a very high position. Now, when Shakespeare died, and even his contemporaries, we found that drama could not stay in the same high position. And what happened? A decline happened. Decline, right? So drama in England suffered a decline for 2 centuries. Even Congreve in the 17th, even those who came after Shakespeare in the 17th century, and Sheridan and Goldsmith in the 18th century could not restore drama to the position it held during the Elizabethan age. So it could not keep drama or restore drama to the high position it held during the time of Shakespeare or during the Elizabethan age. It was revived, however, in the last decade of the 19th century, and then there appeared dramatists who have now given it a respectable place in English literature. Now, 2 important factors were responsible for the revival of drama. So there were 2 responsible factors or reasons that were responsible for the revival of drama in 1890s. The first one was the influence of Ibsen. Because of the influence of Ibsen, the great Norwegian dramatist, and of course we are going to study A Doll's House for Ibsen, under which the English dramatists like Bernard Shaw claimed the right to discuss serious social and moral problems in a calm, sensible way. The second factor was the cynical atmosphere prevailing at that time, which allowed men like Oscar Wilde to treat the moral assumptions of the Victorian age with frivolity and make polite fun of their conventionality, prudishness, or smugness. Now, the first factor gave rise to the comedy of ideas or purpose, while the second revived the comedy of manners or the artificial comedy. Now, under the influence of Ibsen, the serious drama in England from 1890 onward ceased to deal with themes remote in time and place. He had taught men that the real drama must deal with human emotions, with things which are near and dear to ordinary men and women. The new dramatists thus gave up the melodramatic romanticism and pseudo-classical remoteness of their predecessors and began to treat in their plays the actual English life, first of the aristocratic class, then of the middle class, and finally of the laboring class. Now, this treatment of actual life made the drama more and more a drama of ideas. So this treatment made the drama more drama of ideas, which were, for the first part, revolutionary. So it started as revolutionary, directed against past literary models, current social conventions, and the prevailing morality of the Victorian England. The new dramatists dealt mainly with the problems of labor and of youth, fighting against romantic love, capitalism, and parental authority, which were the characteristic features of Victorianism. The characters in their plays are constantly questioning, restless, and dissatisfied. Young men struggle to throw off the trammels of Victorian prejudice. Now, following the example of Noura, the heroine in Ibsen A Doll's House, who leaves her dull, domineering husband, who seeks to crush her personality and keep her permanently in a childlike, irresponsible state, the young women in these plays join eagerly the feminist movement and glory in a new-found liberty. Now, thus, these dramatists introduced nature and life in drama. So they gave life to drama again and loved to make them play their great parts on the stage. Now, in the new drama of ideas, actions became slow and frequently interrupted. Moreover, so we find that in the new drama of ideas, action became slow and frequently interrupted. Moreover, inner conflict was substituted for outer conflict, with the result that drama became quieter than the romantic drama of the previous years. The new researches in the field of psychology helped the dramatist in the study of the soul, for the expression of which they had to resort to symbols. Now, by means of symbolism, the dramatist could raise the dark and even sordid themes to artistic levels. The emphasis on the inner conflict led some of the modern dramatists to make their protagonists not men, but unseen forces. So they made the characters not men, but unseen forces, thereby making wider and larger the sphere of drama. Now, in the field of non-serious comedy, there was a revival in the 20th century of the comedy of manners. The modern period, to a great extent, is like the Augustan period because of the return of the witty, satirical comedy which reached its climax in the hands of Congreve 1700. Though this new comedy of manners is often purely fanciful and dependent for its effect upon wit, at times it becomes cynical and bitter when dealing with social problems. Now, mainly it is satirical because with the advancement of civilization, modern life has become artificial, and satire flourishes in a society which becomes over-civilized and loses touch with the elemental conditions and the primitive impulses. Now, moving to a very important point here, talking about the two important dramatists who took a predominant part in the revival of drama. So who could help in the revival of drama again in the last decades of the 19th century? These two important dramatists are George Bernard Shaw and Oscar Wilde. Okay, it's very important to know these two names, the names of George Bernard Shaw and Oscar Wilde, and these two dramatists took a predominant part played a very important part in the revival of drama.